On episode 34 for podcast, I'm going to talk about fire alarms, menus, and Whizzy. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Luke Who's Talking podcast with me, Luke. How you doing? Hope you're going all right out there. Now let's get into the first story. Oh, and remember last time I teased that I had a date. Well, we're going to get to a story about that. The second story is going to be about that. But let's get into the first one. Now, the other day it was, I can't even remember, Saturday. No, Friday. Was it Friday? No, it wasn't. It was before then. Wow. It was actually Thursday. It was some point in the last, I don't know, it happened. This happened. So I was at a friend's place. Now, a friend of mine is a uni student. They are studying psychology, and they live at the university in the uni digs. So I went round there and we had some pasta for dinner. We had some pasta, and it was quality pasta. It was quality pasta. And we had beans for our pasta as well, and there was, what else was in there? Mushroom, a bit of capsicum. Did we have anything else? Oh, onion as well. We also had onion with our pasta. So it was a nice, and we had Parmesan cheese. We had cheese with our pasta as well. So it was a good pasta time. Anyway, so we were there having our pasta. We had our pasta, and then we progressed to sitting on the floor of said uni digs, and we were talking about our feelings. Oh my God, two scandalously handsome blokes in their mid-20s talking about their feelings. Whoa, what could happen next? Well, the fire alarm went off and we had to evacuate the building. That's what happened. We were sitting there, chatting away. And then all of a sudden, the fire alarm went off. Oh, evacuate. Blah, blah. All these, right, okay. So we went out and evacuated the building. Anyway, my friend, their car was parked like a couple of streets, a couple of blocks over from where the university is and where the uni accommodation, I'll say uni digs, where they are. So we, I think, somewhat suspiciously evacuated the building, and everybody, of course, stayed out front of the building. We just kept walking away and over towards where his vehicle was parked. And then drove it back, but the fire brigade came and had to turn the alarm off, and it was a doozy. It was a doozy indeed. It reminded me actually of when I was in Scotland. In one of the hotels, the fire alarm went off, and we evacuated. It was about 2:30, I reckon, in the morning. So we got to see the local Scottish fire service that night for sure. But so we're just minding our own business in the old uni digs. Alarm went off, and but it was interesting because you could see who was still in their room because there was still some lights on in some of the rooms. How it's like a bit like the security is a bit like a hotel, whereas you have your little security card, you tap it, of course, on your door, lets you in, and you have to then put your card in a little thingy on the wall, which then allows you to have power in your little room or your little apartment-y thing. So, and of course, to get back in, you have to have your card with you. So we'll look outside looking, and there was still a couple of lights on so in some of the rooms. So like those people haven't evacuated. But had to evacuate a uni building, and I don't know, maybe somebody was burnt some toast or something, but fire brigade came, turned the alarm off, and went. Was it half an hour, you reckon, maybe we were outside? Possibly. I'm asking that as a question like I mean, a listener would know. One listener of this podcast will know how long we're outside for. About half hour, I reckon. Yeah. It was a doozy, that's for sure. Now, last episode. The weeks are rolling into one. Last episode, I teased that I had a date that I was going on with a guy. Whoa, scandalous. Anywho, so me and actually it was the same friend who lives at the uni. We went to a place in town. It's called Bread and Butter, and it's like a bakery. They bake bread there, and they make butter and have buttermilk. And it's a very they have other things too. I had sardines on toast. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds so boring, but the toast was a quality sourdough. Oh, it was delicious, crusty. It was, and the sardines were like proper legit sized fish, not like the ones you get in a can, which are as big as your thumb, but these were like legit sized sardines. So that was nice. Anyway, so we got there, we got a seat, and on the tables, of course, there was menus in a nice sort of leather-bound foldery book thing. Anyway, so the one that was on our table, I opened it up, to have a look at the menu, and it had no pages in it. It was a pageless menu. So I'm like, I've never been here before. What am I going to have? Because I hadn't had any breakfast. I was like, I'm hungry. Open up the menu, empty. No pages in there. So I just had this nice leather-bound, leather folder with nothing in it. I'm like, I want... Yeah. So when we actually then subsequently moved to another table, because the one we initially went at was near the entrance, but we decided to then move to like a couple of spots down, and it had a menu. The menu was in the binder. So I went and grabbed the empty one off the table that we initially went to and took it up to the counter when I went to order my stuff. And I was like, yeah, so this menu doesn't have any pages in it. And the guy was like, what a guy. But yeah, I've never had that happen before. Have you? Have you been to a restaurant, got a menu, and the menu hasn't been inside like the little folder thing you get? It was... Oh, I was there like, this is a nice looking menu. Oh, it's empty. There's no pages. And then who has somebody stolen the menu? Why'd you steal a menu? Maybe they're like crazy tourists. They're like, let's do something crazy. Let's steal a menu. Whoa, but we'll leave the nice leather binder here, but we'll steal the pages. Whoa, geez, we're loose units, aren't we? I mean, if that's the case, you're just fools and horses. So the last story, I did think, maybe this could be the second one, but no, I thought it's graphic of sorts. So it is the third story. So in recent times, the neighbour has put up in their yard a huge shed, absolutely huge shed, and actually as a result of them putting up this huge shed, it has blocked the view of the nosy neighbour we have in our street. It's blocked their view of the street. So in my book, that's a total, it's a bit of a boss move there by the shed neighbour, because now the nosy neighbour can't see out their kitchen and they can't see the whole street to have a good gawk at what's going on. So that's like a little bit of a joke in our house at the moment. Oh, that huge shed. Oh, well, the nose can't see the street now. Because, this person, like, if you, fart, it's like they know about it. You're like, oh. But anyway, they can't see that now because they're looking at a nice cream shed out just about every window. It's up one particular side of their house. Anyway, so the other day the shed's up, and they came and poured a driveway. They dug out the driveway, put the Rio and whatever in, and then left that for a couple of days, and then they came early one week, last week I think it was, and poured the concrete in the driveway, and now they're brushing it. So this is like in the afternoon. Now they're brushing it to give it a brushed texture. Anyway, so I was how my bedroom is set up. I've got a mirror here, and I can see from the mirror out the window onto the street. So I can see the shed, now the new driveway, and the side of the nosy neighbour's house in the front of their house. So I was sitting here, and one of the concrete guys was like standing suspiciously in the yard. So I'll paint a picture. You've got house, there's a fence, there's the new shed, and then there is the boundary fence between the shed and the nosy neighbour. So in between the fence, it just goes from the house to the shed. In the corner of that fence and the shed, I hope I'm painting some sort of geographical picture here for you. There's one of the concrete guys was standing there, just standing there. And I thought, okay, that's like half suspicious. And then after a while I thought, I reckon he's standing there having a slash. I reckon he's having a squeezing the lemon. So I sort of looked out the window, and then his right arm, I think it was, made particular movements which confirmed my suspicion. I thought, what a dirty bugger. He was there having a whiz, squeezing the lemon. I thought, it's not on, that is. That's, God. But it was really odd. I looked out the window like, what is that guy doing standing there? Because he was like reasonably tall, so I could see his top half, like his shoulders upwards, over the top of the fence, just standing there. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then I thought, I reckon he's having a whiz. I reckon he's having a slash. Which he was, the dirty bugger. Jeez, I mean, he could have gone and, I don't know, gone somewhere. I mean, now the concrete people actually live just down the road. My street goes to a cul-de-sac, so they live down there. I mean, maybe he could have gone down there and had a whizzle. But, he did it on the side of the shed. Oh, the shed's been christened, but, yeah, I was like, oh, God. What's he doing? I reckon he's having a... Yes, he is. Yep. Well, that is it for this episode of the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Of course, you can send me an email, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazzaroony. And, hey, have you ever been somewhere unusual, maybe, and a fire alarm's got off? Or have you gone to a restaurant, gone and have a look at a menu, and they actually haven't had one? Or have you seen somebody looking suspicious and it turns out they've actually been having a whizzle dizzle doodah? I don't know. If so, send me an email, tweet me, or Facebook-a-rooney, or you can, actually I was about to say, or you can do something else, but that just email, Twitter, or Facebook. Do one of those three things. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye.